Hey, happy Tuesday. It's Tom. Up early this morning because I've got a big day ahead. As many of you know, we have been asked by the legislature in the wake of the economic fallout from the COVID pandemic to cut the fiscal year 21 budget by about 14% over what we originally had in the fiscal year 20 budget. And that's going to take a lot of sacrifice. It's going to take a lot of hard choices. And I've got to do a number of things this morning, including making a presentation to the DHS board about those recommended budget cuts prior to our sending them to the Office of Planning and Budget and the legislature on the 20th. Of course, they'll take them and work with them and see where money can be found, see what we can save, see what we can restore, see where else we could possibly save money ahead of getting a final 21 budget done prior to June 30th. So this morning I'm going to be on a call early to talk to our staff about the fact that one of the best things we could do in a difficult and hard situation is to use furloughs to control our costs as opposed to having to lay folks off. We want to preserve our staff and our ability to do this work. It is a lot of sacrifice that our folks are having to make, but I think in terms of allowing us to share in the burden of the budget cuts while preserving our ability to do the work, I think furloughs are probably one of our least worst options, as you may say. And so we'll be asking them to probably look at a minimum of 12 furlough days in the next 6 months, possibly in some of those who are, and we're looking, of course, at those who are in perhaps the more privileged position of having much higher pay grades, a very small percentage of us in leadership taking perhaps even more furlough days. We're also looking, of course, at having to make some other cuts in programs, make some cuts to the work we do, pulling back in some of the funds we've been able to use in the last few years to expand our work, and it's hard. We shouldn't act as if it isn't. At the same time, I appreciate the way that my staff and all the folks at DFCS have really come together to send us ideas about how we can save money, how we can cut down on non-essential travel, for example, how we by continuing to telework, perhaps we can save money that way. So I just want to thank everybody out there who has been sending in their ideas, and I, of course, hope that that we can find a way to make the necessary cuts while continuing to preserve the core mission of this agency. And I know we can do that, in fact, and I appreciate everybody's recommendations on those issues. But like I said, it's a Tuesday. It may not be the happiest of Tuesdays, but we will get through this, and we will see better days, and we will have an improving economy and better tax revenue, and things will get back to where we need them to be. So let me talk about a couple of more, I guess, happier things. First of all, I want to congratulate Lamar Smith. The Jim Casey Youth Opportunities Initiative and the Annie E. Casey Foundation recently gave him the Champion Change Award for this year's Equity and Inclusion Award ceremonies. Lamar has, of course, been a great asset to this agency, and I want to congratulate him and invite you to send your congratulations to him. He, of course, is now our DeKalb County Director, but of course he's also really been a vital asset in our well-being section, and has worked especially his work with older and youth aging out of care has been spectacular. So thanks, Lamar. We have about over 1,000 followers on our Instagram page. That's kind of fun. We'll try to continue that because we know that by using social media, we remind people that DFCS is here as an agency to serve the people of Georgia. And it's not just a matter of, how many followers you have. It's a matter of how much impact we can have as an agency. And we want to make sure that folks understand that they can turn to us when they have needs. Of course, we have the state continues to open up. Last week, Governor Kemp talked a little bit about maybe getting state agencies back to work. We, of course, are continuing to telework and will do so as long as it's necessary. We have, of course, as I've said before, found that teleworking has actually increased our productivity dramatically. And doing things virtually, of course, is another way that we can cut down on costs for such things as travel and electricity and whatnot. So we're going to continue to see how we integrate telework into our regular mission, making that part of our strategy going forward. So I appreciate everybody bearing with that. I know that some of y'all love teleworking and some of you aren't that happy with it. We're going to find the right medium where we can both make sure that we're together as a team and as a family and are connected, and at the same time use telework where it can be of advantage to us in making us the most productive and efficient agency possible. Of course, it's still National Foster Care Month. We'll remind folks, and we're, of course, continuing to celebrate foster parents virtually, even though we can't do a lot of things in person right now. Last week, we sent out the COVID-19 workforce assessment, really workforce needs assessment to our child welfare staff. Remember, that's covering work conditions and benefits, physical environment and safety, self-care and well-being, supervision, community engagement, and community resources. And of course, what we're trying to learn from that is really how has COVID-19 affected our work, but also what lessons can we take from this pandemic to improve our workforce. I think during all of this stuff that's been going on, our DFCS staff have been incredibly productive. That we have really circled the wagons, and they've done. All of you have done great work. We are going to hit some economic hard times with regard to the state budget. We, of course, I know that the legislature will be working, and the governor's office will be working very hard to see how we cushion the blow. And of course, we still are hoping that our congressional delegation, our Congress and our Senate will perhaps find a way to help our state cushion the blow that the shutdown caused in terms of our revenues. And so maybe we're going to look at see how perhaps sometime between now and June 30th, we can find a budget that will allow us to do the work we need to do. That may involve a little shared pain financially, but we'll try to make this process one that is sensitive to the needs of our workforce, is sensitive to the financial realities of those who work for us, is compassionate, and is focused on serving the people of Georgia. So thanks, everybody. Y'all have a happy week and a wonderful Memorial Day. And remember that we may be facing some tough times, but there are folks who literally gave their lives so that we can have these opportunities to do what we do today. So thanks, y'all, and we'll see you next week. Bye.